Hello everyone, today we are going to take a look at Tempest skills and essences. I think these are leaked from Tony Hawk's playtest event. I don't know, I'm not sure. But Sid Gang gathered them up, so I'm taking a look at his video. First of all, let's check out the skills. So passive skill is called Mist Touched, and primary attacks are called Wave Edge and Wind Edge. And we can see some of the other skills here, like Blade Dance, Breaker, Cascade, Crosswinds, Flowing Strike, Fox Step, Riptide, Rolling Surf, Skull, Storm Fury, and Tidal Rush. As you can guess, they are based on water and wind. Maybe some of them are a combination of it. Or we are going to combine them while playing with the class. For example, we have some information about the passive skill. Once again, Mist Touched. Your attacks will periodically conjure Zephyr to your aid, attacking enemies and mimicking many of your skills before dissipating into a Mist-Touched orb. When you collect a Mist-Touched orb, it reduces the cooldown of Mist-Touched by 0.5 seconds. But if an ally collects a Mist-Touched orb, it will empower them for 10 seconds and we can't read the rest. And the cooldown of this skill, this passive skill, is 10 seconds. So if you collect those orbs, it is gonna go down. And these summons gonna help you alongside your fight, it looks like. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, we have the descriptions of the primary attacks. First, Wave Edge. Empower your edges with crashing tides to create water whips, allowing you to unleash a series of sweeping attacks, dealing damage to your primary target with nearby enemies taking 25% of that damage. So this is the primary attack and it has a little bit of AoE as well. So let's check out the other one. And this one is called Wind Edge. Empower your edge with violent winds, allowing you to quickly slash at nearby enemies, dealing damage. If an enemy is out of range, you will rush to their location. But against enemy players, this cannot occur more often than once every 5 seconds. So this one is just working like Fist of Thunder from Monk. They are kind of similar. And next we have the information about Blade Dance skill. Throw the blades of your edges forward into the ground, dealing damage to enemies and stunning them for 2 seconds. After a short delay, you pull yourself into the blades, dealing damage and knocking back enemies along your path. Well, this is gonna be used in PvP for sure since it has a stun plus knockback. This is gonna be a cool essence to use. Cool skill to use. Next, we have Rolling Surf. Empower yourself with the sea for 6 seconds. Causing your and your Zephyr's primary attacks to hurl water blades that penetrate enemies, dealing damage. Additionally, your movement speed is increased by 35%, and you ride a wave allowing your primary attack, and we can't read the rest. But this might be the one that looks like... Oh, actually not that one. I was going to say the Sanguinate one, but probably it's not that. It is something else. We already seen this though. I might add this into the video so you can see. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So this one is called Storm Fury. Imbue your edges and the weapons of nearby allies for 6 seconds, causing your primary attacks to unleash slashes of wind, dealing an additional 40% damage. So this is a straight up buff. Maybe it can be changed with some of the essences, we don't know that yet. And this one looks quite interesting because we have an essence on it as well, and it is called Fox Step. Create an area of wind that lasts for 3.5 seconds, prevents you from being picked out, and increases your attack speed by 20%. And looks like there is a mainline essence with this effect. Wind Walk also removes all non-loss of control harmful effects. This means damage over time hits probably, because it says non-loss of control. We have this one called Vortex. Conjure a vortex that pulls in nearby enemies, dealing damage over 6 seconds. This one looks cool. And another CC skill. So the next, we have Flowing Strike. Conjure Zephyr at your current location as you dash forward in a flurry of blades and water, dealing damage to all enemies in your path. There is one essence on it too, but we can't see the whole thing. And after that we have Cascade. You and your Zephyr slam your edges into the ground, unleashing a crashing wave around you, dealing damage to enemies within the area. This is a straight up damage skill, it looks like. And we have some of the essences now. First one is Pan of Pulse. Wave Edge also conjures a Zephyr for 1.5 seconds after striking the same enemy 4 times. And the other one is called Grassblade Edge. Wind Walk duration increased by 15%. And we have Fiend Fell. Wind Edge becomes empowered every 6 seconds, causing your next attack to unleash a piercing wind that slices through enemies, dealing damage and shattering their armor, causing them to take 10% increased damage for 3 seconds. This one looks cool. And we have one more, Shrek Words. I don't know how to read that one. Crosswind's critical hits cause 4 blades of wind to shatter off the target, dealing additional damage to nearby enemies, and cannot occur more often than once every 0.5 seconds. And it looks like we have a bunch more. One of them is called Harmonious Castile. Skull now makes you untargetable and causes you and your Zephyrs to dash forward, damaging enemies in your path. This class is gonna be perfect for PvP when you look at these essences and the skill set. The next one is called Flooded Stream. Rolling Surf now transforms your primary attacks into water whips, allowing you to attack and move at the same time. This looks like one of the Barbarian's ultimate, honestly. That sounds cool. Next we have this one. Rolling Surf now transforms your and your Zephyr's primary attacks into swings with a water blade for its duration. After that we have Spiral Guidance. Skill is now channeled, causing you and your Zephyrs to periodically unleash wind slashes forward, dealing damage to enemies in their path. And after that we have Paean of Pulse. Wave Edge, which is the primary attack, also conjures a Zephyr for 1.5 seconds after striking the same enemy 4 times. Didn't we read this one? Yeah, sorry for repeating it. So we have Sumerian Wind Brush. Blade Dance maximum charges increased by 1. Echoing Sky Crosswinds now causes you and your Zephyrs to launch wind blades, damaging and slowing enemies. After that, we have this one, Zephyr's damage increased by 15%. And I think these weapon symbols are placeholders. After that, we have Hurricane Hitch. Crosswinds now empowers your edge with wind for a short duration, causing you and your Zephyr's primary attack to unleash wind blades, damaging enemies. Didn't we read that one as well? Anyways, next we have Mist Whisperer. Zephyr Surge now unleashes a series of rapid strikes against a single enemy, with each Zephyr consumed granting additional strikes. Next we have Cyclone Skull. Crosswind is now channeled and can be cast while moving, causing you and your Zephyrs to spin, launching wind blades that damage nearby enemies. And we have No Second Chances. Wind Edge becomes empowered when you use a skill, causing your next 2 primary attacks to deal additional damage to nearby enemies. And after that, Dying of Fishtails. Zephyr's Surge can now be charged to increase its damage, allowing you to unleash a powerful slash of air, with each Zephyr consumed also increasing the critical hit chance of the attack. Sounds cool. After that we have this one called Safe Borders. Flowing Strike can now be used while suffering from total of lost control and knockback effects, making you immune to their effects for 1.5 seconds. This sounds really good. And we have some Helm Essences, it looks like. Dawning Smile. Wind Wall cooldown reduced by 15%. Luke Leeward. Skill now marks enemies for X seconds before it ruptures and slices through them, dealing damage equal to 15% of the damage you dealt to them while marked. After that we have Sumptuous Swell. Cascade now continually unleashes rings of water from you and your Zephyrs, dealing damage to nearby enemies. After that we have Anopsia Rising. Cascade now conjures one Zephyr to slam the ground at a targeted location, unleashing waves that damage nearby enemies. We are gonna use that Zephyrs a lot, it looks like. And now we have some chest essences. Charging Current. Vortex now conjures a water spot at a target location, continually damaging enemies and pulling them towards the center. Enemies successfully pulled to the center are knocked up into the air. Nice. Merchant's Scale. Rolling Surf also conjures one Zephyr. And we have Tide Volt Strained. Riptide now conjures a wave, damaging and knocking back enemies. And Deserter's Pride. Cascade also increases primary attack speed by 30% for 3 seconds. We are gonna be able to come up with primary attack builds, CC builds. This class is gonna be fun. And we have Zephyr's Guard. Flowing Strike now conjures a Zephyr that slashes and stuns enemies at a targeted location before rushing forward in a flourishing of edge strikes. Okay. One more stun. Blessed Eshit. Cascade also increases your movement speed by 40% for 2 seconds when it strikes an enemy. We can use this for maybe farm builds. And I think that's all. Yeah, there is not much else. I don't know why these are shared early, but they are. So we talked about them. Let me know what you think about these essences. And Yeah, let's talk in the comment section, and don't miss the live stream tonight so we can discuss everything together. Thank you for tuning in and take care.